So the line that I offer you for reflection on this morning is, whoever is begotten of God conquers the world. I think that was I said, what does that mean now? Because we think of conquering the world and begotten of God, probably not the same two things, except I think first it's because I think we believe as people of faith, Christ already conquered the world. When you talk about the world, he already conquered the world on the cross. So we already know that it's not a kind of power and authority that the world thinks it is. Like money and fame and, because the world, that's how it conquers itself, right? It's like, I conquer the world. It usually means that I have made it. I've got lots of money. I got real power and authority, and I can make things happen. I have conquered the world. And most young people grow up thinking that that's what they need to do, right? To go to school, make some money so they can conquer the world, and win. Of course, I think if you're of God and you join him in how he conquered the world, it is conquering, obviously, the good and love that he talks about in the scriptures. That's the conquering of evil. That's the job we have. It's the conquering of evil in our midst. That's what we should be about. That's what we would ever rejoice in conquering, right? Would be like to remove that. And this is our faith, that victory has already done that. Evil has been conquered by the cross. And you're called now to choose sides. What are you going to do now that evil has been conquered? And which side are you going to be on? And if you're going to conquer the world, then what is it going to look like? I think we're all called, and you're called to stand on the side of God and good, regardless. In our midst, that's our job as we go throughout this life. What is good? What side am I going to be on in the end? And that's the spiritual battle that is in every single heart. That sort of battle between good and evil, which it goes all the way back to the beginning. The greatest novels are written about the struggle between good and evil. And that's our job. All right? And hopefully, all of us, start that purification, which is the removal of sin and evil and vice in our hearts. That was there because of original sin and our concupiscence. So the idea is, if we're going to conquer our hearts, is to bring good, right? To remove the evil, to get away from the attachment of evil. But this is what our world says. Look, that's just the way I am. You have to accept me the way I am. And there's some truth to that in terms of a healthy approach, especially in relationship with one another, the acceptance of people. But on ourselves, there is that battle that says, I need purification in my life. I need to remove evil in my own heart, my own tendency towards sin. Therefore, I never say, well, you know what, that's just the way I am. I have to accept it and be like, no. Because then who cares about grace then? Why even bother about grace if you didn't believe that God was about purifying us, right? And whatever is not purified now, you'll have to purify it later, because no sin can touch God, which is, of course, then purgatory, right? Because that's purgation. And the goal right now, all of our time of conquering sort of the world and evil, is to prepare ourselves to meet God so that we will be ready. And if we don't remove the sin in our life now, it'll have to be removed before, if ever we get to heaven. So the job is do it now. So you want to die a saint, so that you'd be much, much closer to eternal life now. And how does that look? God says, love God and keep his commandments. And obviously his commandments is to love others and to give and to always choose the good. That's our task in this life.